Hello, and thank you for joining me for Tai Chi today. The topic for today's class is Qi as medicine. Now, if you're like most people, when you hear the word medicine, you think about going to the pharmacy or perhaps to your doctor, something that you have to go out and purchase. But when we talk about Qi with medicine, as medicine, then the wonderful news is that you have it within you, you have it all the time, and it's free. So today we're going to work with your Qi as medicine. The first practice that we're going to do today is called Curing 10,000 Illnesses. Now you might say, how can you cure 10,000 illnesses with one practice? Well, the answer is that from the Tai Chi and Qigong perspective, and from the Chinese medicine perspective, and Chinese medicine, by the way, has its roots in Tai Chi and especially Qigong, which goes back over 5,000 years. So the answer is that whatever is causing you difficulty or discomfort, whether it's a pain in your body somewhere, or perhaps it's an emotion, perhaps it's sadness or anger or anxiety or fear, or perhaps it's just a stream of negative thinking. And we're surrounded right now during this time of pandemic with much negative thinking. So the good news is that all of these things are caused by blocked Qi. And so when we do this practice, we're going to unblock our Qi, and you should notice a difference in how you feel. So let's just begin. We're just going to do a little gentle bouncing. And this bouncing part, it really doesn't matter how you do it. You notice I'm kind of shifting my weight from side to side, or you may want to do the same, do both feet at the same time, just go up and down. But the important thing is that you're just allowing your whole body to experience a gentle shaking. So first thing that we're going to do after we get our shaking going is going to take a nice deep breath. And when you breathe out, I'm going to invite you to make a sound. It can be any kind of sound. It can be a sigh. It can be a moan. It can be a hoot. It can be a groan. It doesn't matter. But one of the reasons we use sound is that sound tends to release the tension within your body, whereas our actually physical movements tend to release more in the more superficial level of our body. So let's get ready now. Let's everybody take a deep breath. And well, you notice I let that breath go as long as I could, and that's really helpful too, because the exhaling part of your breath is the part of the breath that clears your body of toxins, and some toxins can only be cleared that way. So now let's settle into standing like a tree, into stillness. Let your breath be deep in your belly. Feel your roots sinking into the earth. Feel your shoulders relaxing, your hip joints, your knee joints relaxing. Let yourself go 1 inch taller. And just let yourself stand now, rooted and strong like your favorite tree. Okay, so let's go back now. We're going to go back to our bouncing and shaking. We're going to shake along with the bounce. Shake your shoulders, shake your hands, bounce any way that you want to. But in a minute, we are going to take another breath. And this time, I'm going to ask you to let that breath be as long as you possibly can. We're going to use sound as well. Any sound that you want to make is fine. But I'd like for you to focus on lengthening your exhale. Just make it last as long as you can, because that part of the breath is not only are you clearing toxins, but that part of the breath is calming and relaxing. So, okay, so let's get ready now. Nice deep breath. Okay, let's go into stillness now. Stand like a tree. Trees are so beautiful now. Just picture your favorite tree and let yourself be like that tree. Feel your roots go even deeper into the ground this time. Just be curious about how deep. 6 inches maybe a foot, maybe even deeper. So your roots are helping you to be grounded and stable, connected to the earth. And again, relax your hips, relax your knees, relax your shoulders. Go 1 inch taller. And just focus your awareness on the flow of chi within your body. In your feet, in your legs, in your belly, in your chest, in your fingertips. Open the crown of your head and feel the warm light of the sun coming down. Feel the light of the moon and the stars. All right, so come back to the center. Now we're going to go back to bouncing again. So see if your body feels a little looser right now. Mine felt a little stiff and a little tense, and everything is starting to feel more relaxed as I I bounce this time. So we're going to take one more breath. And this time we're going to do something just a little bit different. I'd like for you to think of something that you'd like to let go of. And that can be anything. It can be a worry. It can be a pain. It can be a problem. It can be a group of people. It can be anything that's weighing heavily on you and bothering you, whether it's physical or emotional or social, it doesn't matter. So while we're bouncing, just think about what you'd like to let go of. And of course, we're going to take another breath. And when we take a breath this time, what I'm going to ask you to do is to make a sound, and to make that sound as loud as you can possibly make it. I want you to raise the roof wherever you are, if you're inside, and intend to be heard a half a mile away if you happen to be outside. But we're going to make this a really loud sound. And one of the reasons this is going to feel so good is that sometime in your life, you were told, probably when you were a young child, maybe when you started school, that you needed to sit down and you needed to be quiet. And so most of us carry around a huge amount of tension just from trying not to make noise, trying not to let it out, and therefore missing the releasing and the unsticking that comes from letting it out. So here we go. Let's get ready. Let's take a nice deep breath. That may be the first time you've ever heard that noise on a Tai Chi video, but notice I'm smiling, and I hope you're smiling too. There's something wonderful about letting that sound out of your body. And if you're not alone in the house, if you've got anybody else with you, I encourage you to invite them to join you in this practice. It's even more fun when you have more than one person or even a group of people. So we're going to stand again. So again, let your roots sink into the earth. Relax your hips. Relax your knees. Your breath coming from your belly. Go 1 inch taller. Relax your shoulders. Let your arms float out to your sides. Little space between your arms and your torso. And notice your fingertips. My fingertips feel warm and playful. They're moving of their own accord. Feels as though they have so much life in them, they can't hold still. So just enjoy this stillness on the outside and focus for a moment on the chi movement inside. In your feet, your legs, your shoulders, your fingertips. the crown of your head, your spine. Okay, so we're going to gather all the fresh chi that we brought in with that movement. Just circle your belly. We're circling right here around the belly button. The belly button was the place that you were attached to your mother before you were born. It was the place where you got all of your nourishment. And now that you are on your own, this place is still an important place. It's an important place from the Western point of view, is that it's your center of gravity. But from the Qigong and the Tai Chi point of view, it's the place where you gather Qi. For example, if you sit down at the table to eat a nice dinner, you're going to put that dinner in your mouth. Well, when we practice Tai Chi, and we do practices to gather Qi, and we release the stale Qi and gather the fresh Qi, then we bring that fresh Qi back into this place. So the next thing that we're going to do today to explore this whole topic of Qi as medicine is I am going to teach you the Microcosmic Orbit Form. And before I show you the form, let me say a little bit about what the microcosmic orbit is. One of the things I mentioned is that our body has this wonderful Qi as medicine within. And one way of looking at it is that just as the earth has the patterns of different rivers that flow in different parts of the earth, and each has their own character, their own qualities, and you feel and gather a little bit different energy wherever you are with each unique river. Also, our body has rivers, and acupuncture and Chinese medicine calls these rivers meridians. And the meridians flow, they gather, and they do this releasing and gathering in our legs. They have meridians in our arms. We have meridians that flow through our organs, our spine, lots of meridians in our head. And each one of these meridians can be named and has a unique character and a unique quality. So we're going to focus on just one of those today, and that is the microcosmic orbit, which is really more than a meridian. It's like the foundational source of this Qi that goes out to all the different parts of your body. So the microcosmic orbit, it can flow one of two ways. It can either flow up the spine and then down the front. So that's a very common way that we think of the orbit as flowing. It can also flow the other way. It can flow up the front and down the back. So you may notice that you have a preference as to how your microcosmic orbit likes to flow, and I'll invite you to explore that a little bit later on during this video. But right now, I want to point out that it is right here in this very central part of your body, in the front and in the back. Now, those of you who are familiar with the chakra system, perhaps if you've done yoga or something like that, The microcosmic orbit would cover all of the 7 major chakra points, and actually opening the flow of chi and unblocking the flow of the microcosmic orbit will also open up all of your chakras. So it's a very important channel. And we're going to begin by opening it up a little bit at a time. So the first movement in the form, we're just going to call it row the boat. And the purpose of this movement is to open up the back and the front of the microcosmic orbit that's flowing. So we're going to really focus on the back and the front. And just for your information, the part of the orbit that flows up the back is called yang qi, and the part that comes down the front is called yin qi. So with this row the boat, it's a very simple, very relaxing movement. The first part of it is I'm going to keep my back straight, and I am going to lean forward almost as though I was getting ready to take a dive into a swimming pool. And then I'm going to move my hips forward, shift my weight, and I'm going to open up the front of my body. So the movement goes like this. I'm opening up the back. And now really gradually, slowly, gently, I'm opening up the front. So as you do this movement, I'd like for you to focus on the sensations that you have on the inside of your body. See if you can feel the chi in the front of your body as you open, and in the back of your body. So we'll do one more of these. And then we'll come back to the center and gather a little bit of energy. So this orbit, we've really focused up on opening the front and the back parts of it. So this same channel has a side. It has a right side and a left side. And traditionally, your right side is yin and your left side is yang. And so we're going to do a movement to help us open up the sides of this channel. And I call this movement the elephant's trunk. So we're just going to begin with, we can think of ourselves as an elephant, and we have this trunk here in the center. And now we're going to begin to shift a little bit from side to side. Still kind of holding the chi ball between your hands. Feeling the flow of energy. Each time your hands are going to go a little bit higher. Very gentle, very flowing. Now I want you to really focus on, let your eyes follow the movement. And focus on the sensations you have in your body. See if you can feel the chi opening on your sides, stretching all the way down from your shoulders all the way down to your feet. Now we're going to let that movement gradually slow down a little bit and get lower. just as we went up, we're going to be coming back down and back to the center until here we are, right here back at the center. So we're going to gather the chi again. And let's just stand for a minute and focus your awareness on the insides of your feet. The insides of your legs. The insides of your shoulders. The inside of your torso, in the front and back, and right and left. Okay, so now we're going to go to the movement number 3 of the Microcosmic Orbit Form. And this movement is like a water wheel turning. So we're going to give this part, this front part of our bodies, a little extra attention. So why would we do that? Because we've already kind of opened the front and the back of the body. Well, the reason that we do that is that this is the part of the body where all of your 5 major organs are. And also, this is the part of your body that if you happen to be a 4-legged creature, that would be protected by the ground. It would be facing the ground, which is a kind of protection because these organs are very vulnerable. So, as humans, because we're upright, if you can imagine, think about the windshield of your car when you've been driving on the highway. So what is it that catches all the junk in your car? Is that everything hits the windshield and it lands on it and junks it up. We have to wash our windshield. So this movement, the water wheel, is like that. We are washing the organs using the water wheel motion. So I have one hand on the bottom, one hand on the top, and I'm just going to be turning and washing. This movement be nice and slow, and focus your mind on cleansing your organs. See if you can feel how you're smoothing out your organs, how you're releasing stuck chi from your organs as you turn the water wheel. Just notice your breath and allow this movement to harmonize with your breath in whatever way seems comfortable. Okay, so we're going to finish that now and just gather that energy, take that back into using the language of Tai Chi into the Dantian, or the Sea of Chi, gathering the fresh Chi. So the next part of this form just has to do with getting in touch with this flow of energy that's circling up the back, down the front, or up the front and down the back. So I'd like for you to do this with me, and as you're doing it, I want you to see if you can feel on the inside of your body which one of those directions feels most harmonious with your own chi. They're both correct. It just has to do with what you feel. So we're going to begin with the up the back, down the front, and just simple orbits. You can inhale as you come up the back, and as you inhale, I'd like for you to feel that chi rising through your spine up to the roof of your mouth. And then at the roof of your mouth, that's when the yin channel begins and the movement goes down. So you might just want to imagine, the Tai Chi term is a pearl. Imagine a pearl of light, and that pearl is flowing in that channel. Let your breath harmonize with your movement, and let your mind focus on moving that pearl of light. Okay, now we're going to reverse directions. I'm going to go up the front and down the back. And again, I'd like for you to notice which one feels most comfortable. Which one makes you feel most at home. So here we go again. So we're going to, again, breathing in, up the front of the body to the roof of the mouth, and then down the back. And with your mind's eye, you're taking that pearl down your back. Again, we're working with that, holding in your mind that pearl of lovely light. It can be any color light that you choose, or it can be white or clear. But it helps to have that focus. It helps the chi to move. So this will be our last time. And so we're going to gather the chi. Breathe. Relax. And we've been standing for a pretty long time, so any time when you're doing Tai Chi, if you feel that discomfort from standing a long time, just take a minute and shake your feet, shake your arms, move around. There is a reason why you feel a little uncomfortable sometimes when you're standing, and that is that standing like a tree is like charging your cell phone. So when you stand like a tree, you're plugging your energy into the great energy of the earth. And the earth is very generous with her energy. And so until your meridians expand, so they can handle more and more volume of energy, then after we stand for just a little while, we start to feel like we need to move around, and that is perfectly all right. And the more you stand like a tree, the longer you can stand like a tree, which, by the way, standing like a tree is supposed to be the fastest, most efficient way to build your energy and your strength and your health. Big surprise to us Westerners is because we think we've got to run around and do a lot of things, whereas when we stand like a tree, what we're actually doing is doing nothing and relaxing and So we get now to the microcosmic orbit, actually tracing the microcosmic orbit. And so I'll show you how to do that. This is the last movement of this form. So we're going, the way this form is traditionally taught, we're going to go up the back and down the front. So we're going to reach around, and so put your hands towards the back, and it's like you're going to, with your mind, the focus of your mind, you're bringing that pearl, that chi ball, up over the crown of your head and down to the perineum. So this is part one. We'll just do part one a few times. So part one is bringing the chi up the spine. Remember, your breath and your mind and your movement go all together with this. That's what makes the magic happen. It's all three of those things working. So feel the energy circling. Okay, so we've completed that one. So part two of the microcosmic orbit movement is we do, once we've completed the big orbit, we do a little mini orbit right here. And that's just like an extra little boost of chi vitamins to your organs. So we'll add part two this time. So let's begin with part one. Get your sense of your pearl of light, bringing it up over the crown, down, now coming down the inside, the front. And we take it all the way to the perineum. And from the perineum, we do a little mini circle to bring extra chi to the organs. So that's parts one and two. So let's just do them. We'll just do them in silence for a little bit. And one more time. Okay, so let's gather the chi. Let's relax. And let's stand like a tree. So remember, anytime you're bringing together the movement of your body, your breath, and the focus of your mind, you are doing Tai Chi. So as you stand this time, I'd like for you to go back and see what you can feel inside your body. Notice your feet. they feel inside. The calves of your legs, your thighs, your spine, your shoulders, your arms, your fingertips, your belly, your chest, your neck, the crown of your head. So gather the energy from this standing like a tree now. And to close our practice of working with our chi, we're going to do something called ocean breathing. One of the things that we want to do once we get our chi unstuck, which we did at the beginning of class with curing 10,000 illnesses, the next thing we want to do is to encourage our chi to flow like water. So we'll do a little ocean breathing. Just let your hands relax by your sides. I'd like for you to imagine that you're at the ocean, maybe about up to your knees. It's a beautiful day. And you just breathe in and breathe out. And breathing in, expand your whole energy field inside and all around your body. Expanding and now sinking and grounding. Let your breath follow the rhythm of the ocean as the waves move in and the waves move out. You may notice your weight shifts a little forward onto the balls of your feet, the in-breath, and with the exhale sinking onto the heels. Just imagine that you are in the flow of the ocean, and imagine that that great ocean of chi within you is gently flowing. Steady pulsation. It's like the waves going in and out. Feel your whole body radiating, filling. Feel your smile and feel your whole body smiling. We'll take this one last ocean breath. Thank you so much for being with me today, and may you enjoy the healing chi this week.